Boo! At the open, all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning, I wanna turn on this. Deck it quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5-6. I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stop pick. I know that booty got dropped, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, roll with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. and I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and egg, make profits. Light up, watching them can make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packets. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETF. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Hey, make profits. That TTG money gang. Hey, making profits. We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward Paranati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and the head trader at True Trading Group. And we are here for earnings. It is a busy day of earnings. We've got Alphabet, AMD, Amgen, Chipotle, Nphase, Snap, and more coming to you guys here as Alphabet is out. The stock is trading down 7% on the day, down nearly 5% from yesterday's close, down almost 7% from today's close. And it's not a good report to miss. They actually missed on revenue, and their cloud revenue came in light, and the company's CapEx is looking at $75 billion. And these are problems for analysts and worries investors, and I'll explain to you guys why. But before we get into Alphabet and AMD and all the other earnings that are about to come out underway while we are on this live stream live, I will cover those earnings with you live. I'll give you the numbers. I'll give you my analysis. We'll go over some trade ideas. How we're going to trade these stocks tomorrow. It was a fantastic day inside of True Trading Group today. Swing trades on Amazon to the new all-time high. Congratulations, all of you that capitalized on that swing trade. That was a day trade today and a swing trade from the other day. One of our other moderators, Andrea Weber, who's been absolutely on fire, caught the swing trade on Amazon the other day. And a lot of our members were able to take profits off on the new all-time high today for Amazon. And we also identified Amazon as a day trade today, as it has been one of the stronger tech stocks in the market. Amazon and Meta have been two of the long points that we focused on over the last couple of trading days, especially coming out of the DeepSeek issue, and then coming out of the tariff concern. We went towards and looked at those two companies for the longs, and that was been the right idea, as both of those stocks back up towards all-time highs today. But aside from that, we had some really good trading opportunities today. We were able to trade some small caps. The little VLCN was a good one for us. Caught it not once, but twice. That was a big trade there for members that are quick enough with their hotkeys. We trade everything at True Trading Group. We day trade, we swing trade, we do long-term investing, we trade stocks, options, we trade futures. We literally do it all. There's something for everybody here at TTG. We are also, in case you didn't know, the 2024 Benzinga FinTech Award recipient for the best AI analysis tool. Okay. D9, I don't make earnings predictions, brother. I'm not a psychic. If you're looking for someone that's going to predict the future on what a company's earnings are going to be, you're not going to find it here. I don't try to make predictions on earnings. That's a coin flip. You're taking a guess. I don't take guesses with my money. I wait until I see probabilities of setups that I think are 70, 75% or higher, and I then attack those probabilities. And I'd much rather prefer to wait for earnings to come out and then decide what I think the market's going to do based on those earnings, and then trade the stock the day after earnings, rather than get into a position prior and then cross my fingers and cross my toes and pray to the God above and close my eyes and see what happens when the company reports their earnings. That's not trading. That's gambling. You might as well go bet your money on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. So that's why, I'll give you my analysis on the earnings, and then we'll talk about how we'll trade the stock tomorrow. But I'm not going to guess whether or not they're going to miss on earnings, beat on earnings per share, miss on revenue, raise guidance, lower guidance come in line. That stuff I just feel like it's kind of a fool's game. You just don't have any advantage to try to guess like that. So that's my style. It's my preference. Doesn't mean it's necessarily right or wrong, but that's just my preference. So like I said, going back to that Benzinga FinTech Award, like I said, guys, we did win Best AI Analysis Tool. And there's my business partner and I actually on stage receiving that award in New York City, as we are really being recognized now for the way that we are bringing AI technology into our platform and helping our members and retail traders to make money. So that was a nice thing that we were able to do there. Why should you listen to anything it is that I talk about on these live streams? It's not because I think that I'm the world's greatest trader. I'm not. I don't have a 100% win rate. I am wrong sometimes too. I do make red trades. I'm right a hell of a lot more than I am wrong, but I am wrong sometimes. The reason why I think you should listen to what I talk about on this channel is because I didn't figure this stuff out on my own. I didn't figure this stuff out by watching YouTube videos and sitting in Discords. I began my trading career working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. It was my very first job at a college. While there, they had me go through a training program before they let me touch $1 of the firm's money. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession, the big stock market crash, but also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group, along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff. We have helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. We have 10,000 members in 114 different countries, truly a global community here at True Trading Group. So if you're ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, smash that like button, show some love, subscribe, turn on notifications. Make sure you never miss out on any of these live streams. We're dropping golden nuggets on a regular basis. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry for yawning in your face, but I am quite tired today. I'm quite tired. My daughter is going through a sleep regression. I think because she is now teething. And she's going through a sleep regression. When she goes through sleep regressions, that means I go through sleep regression. But it's not that bad. I can't complain. I really can't complain. She's the best. I have it good. And trading allows me to just sit at home all day, every day and work while being right here with her, my wife. And I couldn't ask for a better situation and a better environment for me to be in, to be able to spend that time with them. It's something special. And honestly, everybody talks about trading is all about making money, but really the money is just a tool to achieve what we all really seek, and that's time. It's to get control of your time. It's to take your time back. And that, I think, is probably one of the most valuable things that I would say, and one of my favorite things about doing what it is that I do. Yes, I love what I do. I love trading. I always have. I'm so passionate about it. I can talk about it for hours. And it's something that I'm excited to do every single day when I wake up. And aside from obviously the money is ridiculous. I don't know any, aside from being a professional athlete, like I just don't know where else you can make the kind of money that you can make trading that quickly in such a short period of time. But aside from all of those obvious things, for me, being able to just be home every day with my 6-month-old and my wife is just, it's special. And I have trading to thank for that. So that's it. That's that. I'm without trying to get too sentimental there, trying to get too emotional there with it. Let's get into kind of earnings and talk about what we have cooking right now and what we have that just kind of came out. Way to go, Brock. 3 times profits on small cap trading today. So you got caught a 3R today. That's great. So that means it's 3 times your risk. Like if you guys made a trade and you risked $100, right? That means you're going to make 3 times that, and you're going to make $300 for risking 100. That's fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. Yes, Brock says I'm able to stay home and be with my family every day. Jay says that's what I want to. Yes, that's what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. Oh, nice, Jay. Yours is 7 months old. Congratulations. God bless. That's fantastic. Yeah, that VLCN, that was a good one. Brock, you traded that one with me. That's good for you, man. That wasn't an easy trade. That was a very advanced, very fast moving trade that required, hotkeys, and you got to be quick. You got to get in, you got to get out. Not all of our trades are like that. Those are just, specific rare occurrences when we do trade something like that. But anyway, we'll get back on over to earnings, guys. That's what we're here for. Let's talk about it as those earnings are out. And of course, the biggest earnings of the day are Alphabet, and they are not good. They beat on earnings per share, $2.15 versus $2.12, but they missed on sales, $96.47 billion versus $96.65 billion. So they missed on sales. That is not what people were anticipating, as you're getting a disappointing earnings release from Alphabet. Their cloud revenue also comes in lighter. And that's something that is a cause for concern with investors. And then on top of that, $75 billion in CapEx. Now, the reason why that's a problem is because of the way that people are looking at AI now with regards to this DeepSeek issue. and saying that, and saying that you don't need to spend billions of dollars anymore to build out these AI operations. And it's actually a lot more, cost effective to operate. And you don't need to spend tens of billions of dollars like all these other companies have. And DeepSeek's like, actually, we can do it for much less than that. We did it for much less than that. So now you have investors are starting to second guess all of this investment. Just last year alone, Alphabet, Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta, just 4 companies, just those 4. Now, granted, they're 4 of the 6 largest companies in the market, but 4 of those companies invested $200 billion in AI. No, Connor, I know. Yeah, and Connor, I know, kind of says it came out that DeepSeek spent a ton of money. Yes, it did. It did come out that they spent a ton of money. Originally it was that, we only spent $6 million. It's totally full of crap. Turns out that number was significantly higher, but it's still lower than what all these other companies have spent. These other companies have been investing tens and tens and tens of billions of dollars. And you're probably at maybe 1 billion total from start to finish for DeepSeek. I believe that was kind of one of the things that I had looked at, or you're also looking at about a few hundred million at least. Okay. So that's Alphabet. We do have other earnings that are out, guys, and it is AMD, and AMD is popping to the upside. Stock is now up 10%, and we are trading higher. We're up 10% on the day. All right, now 126. And let's go into the AMD earnings. That should pop all the rest of your semis. Looks like Broadcom is also moving to the upside. Yep, Broadcom heading higher here as well. All right, so what about NVIDIA? Let's check on NVIDIA. NVIDIA's trading a little bit higher as well. What about ARM? ARM trading a little bit higher there as well. Let's go back to AMD, and let's see if the stock's able to hold its gains. Because AMD has been really, really, really getting hit over the last several months. And we've had a terrible year in 2024 and has not been off to a good start in 2025. But the stock's at a big level of support. It's at a big level of support. I actually just recently, right around 120 or so, I actually bought some shares for my daughter in my daughter's account. I am bullish on AMD in the long term. They are just a little bit behind with regards to AI and GPUs versus CPUs, and AMD has really been focused on just swallowing up Intel's market share and just destroying Intel. And in the meantime, companies like NVIDIA and Broadcom have really kind of surpassed AMD from a AI standpoint, and that's why the stock's really kind of gotten hit a little bit. But I still really like this company. I love Lisa Su. I think she is a phenomenal CEO. And I still am a shareholder of AMD, and I will continue to be for quite some time. So this is a top and bottom line beat for AMD. Okay, $1.09 earnings per share. That is a beat against $1.08. And the sales came in at $7.66 billion. Analysts were only expecting $7.53 billion for AMD, and we are trading to the upside here. Stock is up 8.5% on the day, up around 4% or so after the bell. Running right into resistance. Okay, there you go. Gross margins are also higher, guys, on the number. So their numbers were also higher. And Lisa Su said that 2024 was a transformative year. I like that. I like that Lisa Su said that 2024 was a transformative year. I like that. Okay, they see Q1 revenue of $7.1 billion, plus or minus $300 million. Versus analyst expectations of 6.99. This is one stat that is a little worrisome, is that they missed on data center revenue. The data center revenue is the one that actually came in a little bit light. They did miss on that, but they did beat on total revenue. But the data center revenue did come in there just a little bit light. They are indicating 30% year-over-year growth. And they expect non-GAAP gross margins of 54%. So not bad. It's not a great earnings report because of the data center side, and the Q1 guidance is basically in line once you factor in the 300 million buffer. They're saying 7.1 billion, give or take 300 million, and that puts you right in line with the analyst expectations of 6.99. So it's an inline guide. There's a 7% sequential decline on that year-over-year growth number, even though they're growing at 30% year-over-year. Margins of 54% are good. It's actually a little bit higher than what was expected. But the data center revenue coming in light, I think, is a little bit of a concern. And then I would say that the guidance coming in line with expectations is also not that impressive. So I don't know if we're going to be able to. Oh wow! As we're talking, the stock is reversed. So all right. So as we're talking, the stock is reversing. That's kind of what I was getting. I was saying, I'm not quite sure if this is a move that is going to hold for AMD because the earnings weren't that great, and it did run right into an area of resistance. So you see that area of resistance, you popped right into 126. Now let's talk about on the chart. Let's go back over and say, why is this an area of resistance? This is a very simple one. It is a gap. Okay, it's a gap retest, and it's a major moving average. So if we look back here on my chart, you guys will see we had this big gap up, and that created this open gap. You also then like a double gap, and then you gapped down, and then it still became resistance. So now you have two open gaps at the same exact price. There's one open gap, there's a second, and neither one of them were ever filled and back tested, just became resistance. You then rallied back into that level there in January, became resistance again, and then here comes this dark blue line you see on my screen. That's the 50-day moving average, and then there it is, resistance again. And then now the stock just giving you a nice little pullback, heading there to the downside off of that 126 level. And that is that's a tough level of resistance now, guys. You can really use that level now. Draw that level on your screen. It's 125, 126. Draw it on your screen. That is a level that you can rely on for short entries if and when the stock gets back up to that level in the future. But that is a pretty heavy rejection. We'll have to wait for the earnings conference call. We'll see if Lisa Su has anything on that conference call that could kind of change investors' mind a little bit. The stock is still green on the day, but trading significantly lower from the close. It feels like AMD is trying to bottom. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It really does feel like it's trying to bottom. You are putting in a descending wedge pattern, and descending wedge patterns are trend reversal patterns. So you can try to see, I know after hours, it looked like you were going to break out of this pattern, but we're still inside of this pattern. And you can see we're trying to bottom this out with a double. And this happens a lot. A lot of times the descending wedge bottoms with a double bottom and then a break of the downtrend line. And then you'll get a little bit of a move back to the upside as you get a little bit of a relief bounce. So I do think that that's possible. Okay, I do think that's possible. A key breakout point for you would be the downtrend line and this resistance level you see around 121. So I would say the way to play AMD for tomorrow, let's wait and see what happens during the conference call, right? I know it just had a real volatile print. Ran to 126, back to 116, okay? But let's see what happens after the conference call. Let's see where the stock opens tomorrow. If the stock gets above 121, there's probably a pretty easy long to 125, 126. Okay, if it doesn't, and you're going to sit here around 116 or so, I think it's a pretty choppy trade. I think that you've found an area where there are some buyers that are stepping in, and the stock might be a little choppy if it just sits in the 110s. I think the easier trade will be if it gets above 121, we can try to be long into 125, 126. Okay, that is the analysis there for AMD. Next up, we have Snap. Snap coming through with its earnings, and that stock is headed to the upside. I don't know how anybody uses the Snapchat app. I think it is absolutely horrendous. I mean, I know that I'm an adult and I'm not a kid, but even with that being the case, if I open up the Snap app, it's a nightmare. I think it's so not user friendly. I don't know how anybody spends their time on that app, but they keep growing their daily active users. So what the hell do I know? Earnings per share is a beat, 16 cents versus 14 cents. Sales were also a beat, 1.557 versus 1.548 billion. Daily active users are now up to 453 million. That's up 9% year over year. How they do it, I don't know. I would have thought for sure, everybody was talking about oh, TikTok is going to kill Facebook. Why Facebook? They're nowhere near the same thing. TikTok, I feel like, what's the point of Snapchat? I don't know. I mean, I don't like that. I'm not a big fan, right? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the stock, and I'm not a fan of the app. And that's the thing. Like, if I'm going to buy something in my long-term portfolio, it has to be a business or a product or a service that I like, that I believe in. I have never owned Snap. I don't have any intentions of owning Snap. There's a huge resistance level here, right around 13 and a quarter. Is there a trade there for Snap? I don't know. I think there's such better things to trade, to be quite honest with you. I think there's better things to look at than Snap. Okay. But the earnings were good, and the stock's trading up 15% now. Actually here now on the day. We were already green on the days substantially, but now we are trading even higher now, up 11% after hours, up 16% now on the day, but up 11% here after hours. And you guys can see this resistance level. It doesn't take a experienced chartist to just kind of see that the stock keeps topping out here just above $13. Then you have another resistance level around $13.90, then a gap fill at $14.35. So if you're looking for a trade here on Snap, I would say wait for it to clear out 13 and a quarter. You can try to be long back against 13 and try to get up to these levels around 13.80. Call it $14 and then call it, $14.35, $14.50. But I'm not going to trade Snap tomorrow. I think there's better things. I think there are better things to trade. Okay. All right. Let's see. AMD now. AMD now back to 116. Not looking good. What about Alphabet? Alphabet bounce yet? Nope. I would be surprised if Alphabet bounced. I mean, now that I look at the chart, actually, 188 is a good support level. Yeah, 188. 188 is a good support level there for Alphabet. You guys can see this double bottom here from the end of December and early January. And then there's the 50-day moving average. I don't know if that's going to hold, though. I don't know if that holds. I'm not going to necessarily be a buyer at that level. I think that today's, disappointing earnings announcement, a failed all-time high, maybe that kicks in a little bit of profit taking over the next week or two. So we're gonna wait on that one. All right, let's go into some of these other earnings that came out today. Amgen. The thing here about Amgen, I mean, I actually do like Amgen. I do own it in the long-term portfolio. I've owned it for quite a while. It's I like it. It's a good company, but their weight loss drug was just put on hold by the FDA. So a hard stop on their weight loss drug for Amgen. And that is what initially was the news there that took the stock headed to the downside, even though that their earnings were actually very good. Okay. But that is a piece of news that they put out there with their earnings to kind of, get that news out there. It's not something that they're happy about, but $5.31 earnings per share. That's a beat against analyst expectations of 508. Sales are $9.1 billion, and they were expected $8.88 billion. So clear top and bottom line beat for Amgen. Their guidance for 2025, they see 34.3 to 35.7 billion. Analysts are expecting the low end of that, 34.53. So basically in line. And they see earnings per share $20 to $21.20, right in line with analysts, $20.88. Okay. So one thing to like, one thing to not like, and one thing to feel indifferent about with the earnings there for Amgen. What do we like? They beat on sales. They beat on earnings per share for the quarter. What are we indifferent about? Their guidance was just in line with expectations. It wasn't above, wasn't below. It was basically just in line. What are we not happy about? The company's weight loss drug being put on firm hold by the FDA. So that's not good. That's got the stock trading down 2.5%. On the day. Not a stock that I really day trade. I'm not looking for a day trade on this one, but it is a stock I own in a long-term portfolio. I think there's a beautiful support level in the mid 200s. I think the closer you get down, the closer that we get down into that level, the better off that it is for like a long-term portfolio scoop. And I'll show you the level. There's resistance, support, right? And there you go. All right. And that is Amgen. We've got Amazon heading to the downside right now, guys. I don't see any specific news. This could just maybe be, I'm not sure. I got to look into this. I'm not seeing what this is here, guys. I'm not sure why Amazon is trading down here like this from 242 down to 237. Maybe it's sympathy to Alphabet. It could be sympathy to the Alphabet earnings. But, Meta, Microsoft, they're holding firm. Apple holding firm. NVIDIA holding firm. Broadcom holding firm. AMD is the one that kind of took things back to the downside. Let's keep on going. Chipotle. How is life at Chipotle after the CEO left, right? That's what everybody wants to know, because in case you guys are unaware, and this is also part of one of the reasons why I am very bullish Starbucks for the next couple of years. I made that announcement a couple of months ago here on the YouTube channel and within True Trading Group that we like Starbucks now for the long term. And the reason for that is because the old CEO at Chipotle went over and became the new CEO of Starbucks. And I think that he is the absolute perfect person to turn Starbucks around, because what happened at Starbucks is they got lost. The company got lost. They were very poor management. I actually will never forget. I actually saw there was an interview with the CEO of Starbucks, and he actually said that he won't work anything past 6 p.m. Wait a second, what? He's like, yeah, past 6 p.m., it better be something that's like life or death, but you're not going to get me to do anything like after 6 p.m. It's, my priority is, is to be with my family and everything else. And I'm like, listen, on an individual level, I respect that. And I feel the same way, right? Like there's nothing more important than family. But my man, you are the CEO of the largest global international coffee company in the world. Okay. You have thousands and thousands and thousands of shareholders. They don't want to hear you say, I'm not going to work past 6 p.m. That's not what people are. That's not what investors and shareholders want from their CEO, right? You can't be, one of the largest companies in the world and be like, I'll work when I want. I'm just saying, that's just not the way. You're not going to gain fans that way as the CEO of a public company. But anyway, he went nuts. He was just investing way too much in expanding Starbucks and opening up, more stores without really monetizing. Quality control started to suffer. The user experience started to suffer. The culture at the company started to suffer, and the food suffered, and the experience suffered. And now and they weren't able to control costs. And what ended up happening was you had this guy from Chipotle comes in and takes over as CEO of Starbucks, and everything that Starbucks was doing wrong, this guy is amazing at, right? This guy's amazing at. And he is known for margins, profitability, and cost controls. One of the reasons why Chipotle did so incredibly well during COVID was because Chipotle, or after COVID, like during the high inflation, Chipotle was able to control their rising costs with inflation better than anybody else. And that's a lot of the reason why Chipotle ended up doing as well as it did over the last several years, because even in that high inflation environment, as the cost of wages goes up, right? You have to pay workers more money to get them to work. You had to, food costs went through the roof over the last couple of years. And he was able to, make adjustments and keep those costs under control and pass some of that increased cost down to the consumer without doing it in a way that the consumer really felt it. There's a lot of different products out there that you noticed the increase in price. Chipotle is not necessarily one of them. You walk into Chipotle, in 2023 versus walking into Chipotle in 2019, and your pocket doesn't necessarily feel the difference, even though it is more expensive. But they did it in a way that was able to kind of pass things along. He's very good at keeping costs in control and really maximizing profitability. That's exactly what Starbucks has to get back to. And the stock is in breakout mode. They just reported earnings. This is one of my top trade ideas for the week on the live stream on Sunday evening. I told you guys on Sunday evening, if you caught the live stream, 105.50 for the long on Starbucks. The low of the day yesterday was literally 105.52. Stock now trading 111. And if you take a look at a bigger time frame, you just broke out of a descending triangle formation on the weekly chart. There's your clean breakout. That then means this area down here in the low 100s becomes a support level going forward. And we look to see if we can get a break and a follow through into the high, like 115, 120. I believe that within the next 2 years, maybe you're going to see Starbucks at a new all-time high as the new CEO continues to get his arms around this business and turn them back into a profitable growth driver and grower that they once were, and start to get back to business. So I do like Starbucks. All right. And then last but not least, let's talk about Nphase. Let's talk about Nphase, solar company that has been a very frequently traded name inside of True Trading Group. Just got back to a massive resistance level and did reject off of 76. You guys can see here on the chart. Doesn't take an experienced chartist. There's your support. You had the big gap down. Resistance, 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 resistance. And here we are still, yes, resistance. Let's check on the actual earnings. Earnings per share were 94 cents. That's a big beat against the 72-cent estimate. They also beat on sales. Look at you, Nphase. 383 million versus 377 million versus analyst expectations. They also did raise guidance for, wow. So they also raised guidance for Q1. They see 340 to 380 million. That's actually a really wide spread. Analysts were expecting 339 million. All right. So there's your 76. I mean, that's a pretty, and then, oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to show you this too. There's that layer. There's your level. There's your 76, right? And then if you still weren't convinced, oh, look, wait, there's 76 back in 2020, right? So it was resistance back in 2020, support here in 2023, and then support again in 24. You finally broke it, and now it's resistance, 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 resistance. You can look for pullbacks off of that 76 level in tomorrow's trade. I know one of our moderators, Shai, who always trades Nphase. We actually call her I don't even know. We have a lot of names for her. She's like the solar slayer, I think, is maybe the most recent one. I'm not quite sure. But Shai has absolutely destroyed. It should be criminal. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised one day if Nphase comes, sends her like a cease and desist letter and says, stop kicking the crap out of my stock, because she trades the hell out of it and is extremely profitable with doing so. And our members have made a ton of money with it. So we'll see what happens there. I'm sure that'll be on her watch list for tomorrow. Big resistance up there, guys, at 76. I will say, because now I see some people asking me about Nphase and solar stocks. I don't own any solar stocks in the long-term portfolio. I don't have any intention of owning these stocks in the long-term portfolio. I just never really got behind solar, just from like a business standpoint. I don't know. I just feel like solar energy is just it's just inefficient. It's inefficient. It's hard to scale. It's ugly. I don't like, the panels are too big. It takes up too much space. I don't know. I never got behind it. I just never did. I never really got behind solar. And the stocks did phenomenally well during COVID. You can see this chart of Nphase. The stock went absolutely crazy. And now it's back. Now it's back all the way to the downside. the fact that interest rates are going to be higher for longer is not good for solar energy names. They're very sensitive to interest rates. But if you are going to own Nphase, like if you really like Nphase and you like solar and you do think that it's a good long-term, concept, $60 is the place to do it. You got a big level down here at 60. So if you like it, then go ahead. There's your level. You go back to 2020. Look at that resistance in 2020. This is a weekly chart. You broke above it, then it became support. Now you're back down into it. And on a weekly chart, you're double bottoming, right? See how you're double bottoming on the weekly chart? So if you do like it, go for it. But I have no intention of owning it. That's just my own, right? That's just my own opinion there. Oh, let's see what we got here. David Sachs, who was the crypto czar under President Trump, is on right now talking about crypto. Let's keep our eyes on Bitcoin maybe. Is there anything that we're going to have here? Because Bitcoin is actually in the red today. We're back under 100K, right? We are back underneath the 100K. I do think, and again, I'll say it again, I do think that Bitcoin's headed to here. I think it's going to go to here before it goes to there. I just love this. Like, I just think that the absolute perfect place to buy more is going to be right there. And it's just the absolute perfect place to do it. And Bitcoin's so volatile. It's so crazy. It probably, when it drops down here, it's going to try to bounce. It'll fail and it'll drop back down. And like momentum will take it through it and go to like 68 and make everybody feel like, oh no, the level's broken. And then it'll shoot back above it. And then that'll be it. And then it'll, do something like this and do its thing. That's what I think you're going to get. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that to be, I do own Bitcoin. I own Bitcoin and Ethereum, but that is my next, purchase spot is going to be a pullback into this zone right here. That's where I'm going to be a buyer, guys, for Bitcoin. All right. And I think it doubles from there. I think from 75K, you probably go to 150. Those are my thoughts. All right. Possible sovereign wealth fund could make crypto part of the portfolio. So in case you guys noticed, Donald Trump was talking about possibly doing an executive order to create a U.S. sovereign wealth fund, similar to like how the Saudis do. The Saudis have their investment fund, which is their sovereign wealth fund. And there were, discussions about, doing that to make a bid to purchase TikTok. Or doing that to purchase Bitcoin and start making crypto a part of the portfolio. There was discussions about getting a crypto reserve. So these are all things that we have to none of them have happened yet. We just got to wait and see how it all plays out. But now you guys know what my thoughts are there on Bitcoin. Let's get a quick check-in. Oh, AMD. All right, AMD now into the red, guys. Into the red. All right, you're looking at now 112. You do have support around 111, but it feels like that level wants to break. And then next major support is going to be between 95 and 100. 95 and 100. I am going to buy more shares for myself between 95 and 100. Why is AMD dumping? Earnings. Yes, guys, AMD's earnings are out. They came out a while ago. Okay, AMD's earnings were as follows. I'll give you the recap. $1.09 versus $1.08 on earnings per share. 7.66 billion sales versus 7.53 billion. So they did beat top and bottom line. They beat earnings per share and they beat on revenue. However, their guidance came in a little like, guys, AMD's already out, folks. Earnings already came out for AMD. Okay. They came out over a half hour ago. But their guidance came in light. Okay, guidance came in light, and their data center revenue also was a miss. Their year-over-year growth is 30%, but that's a 7% sequential decline, and they anticipate non-GAAP gross margins of 54%, which is actually a little higher than expected, but just not an impressive earnings release from AMD. One thing there, Lisa Su said that 2024 was a transformative year for the company. Yeah, they're decent, Bumblebird. Yeah, they're decent. They're not bad. They're definitely not bad earnings, but they're not great either. You guys have to realize that the numbers for the quarter are not as important as the guidance. You've seen before companies miss on their earnings, but then raise guidance and the stocks go higher. You've seen companies beat on earnings and miss on guidance and the stock goes lower. That's because, people care more about what the stock's going to do rather than what it's already done. All right. So we'll see if AMD can hold this area. Like 111 is a pretty decent support level. I think that tomorrow, what you can look for is, let me see. So I know I said to you guys before, like 121, right? So that's one spot. If you get above 121, the stock probably goes to 125, 126. But now we're back to now we're all the way down to 113. So 121, let's talk about a different entry. You have a support level at 113 over the last week and a half. I'll draw it just so you guys can see it. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, 1, 2, 3. If you pierce that tomorrow and then reclaim it and start to push, you can possibly push back up, go green, and then push to like 116 or so. Okay, that's one thing that we can do with that. All right, guys. I think we also have a very special surprise for you guys. We have a surprise for you guys. Okay, I'm actually going to bring on right now my business partner and co-founder of True Trading Group, the man behind the curtain that makes this thing tick. Okay. All right. Guys, go ahead right now and everyone give a big shout out and a TTG Ayo to Adam.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy? How are you, man?
Good. Why don't you start off by telling them a little bit about the Level 3 project that we've been working on? Because this is really the first time that we're talking about it on a live stream, I think.
It is. I kind of hinted at it maybe once or twice before, but I never really got into the details of it. So guys, like I mentioned to you before, when I was telling you guys about the Benzinga FinTech Award, right? It's nice to see companies that are recognizing True Trading Group, what it is that we're doing and the impact that we're having with retail traders and our members all over the world. But it doesn't stop with just Benzinga. We actually signed a data partnership agreement with the NASDAQ directly. It was a wonderful time for us. I mean, they invited Adam and I down to the NASDAQ. They gave us a tour of the facility. We got to witness the closing bell. There's Adam and I at the closing bell with our company name and logo on the screen. And then they actually put our company name and logo with a big congratulations on their big screen in the middle of Times Square and gave us a big shout out. And there is the picture of our company logo up there on the NASDAQ screen in the middle of Times Square. And, one of the things that we really focus on at TTG is really leveling the playing field for retail traders and giving them the tools and the resources that they need in order to have a fair chance of being successful. Because if all you do is open up a Webull or Robinhood or Thinkorswim account and you just open up you go on Reddit or you sit in a Discord and think even for a second that you are going to have anywhere even remotely close to the same level of success as a professional trader, you are out of your mind. You do not have access to the same tools. You do not have access to the same data. You don't have access to the same education. You don't have access to any of the things that they have access to. We have, pride ourselves on building True Trading Group in the platform and putting as many tools and resources and data feeds on our platform as we possibly can so that retail traders can start to use these things. So, you have a Bloomberg terminal. Well, really only professional traders and hedge funds use Bloomberg terminals because they cost $30,000 a year each. So your average retail trader doesn't spend that for a Bloomberg terminal. But the Bloomberg terminal gives you access to things that retail traders do not have that will help you make better decisions, that can help you be successful. We here at True Trading Group are building and creating a platform that we can say is like a Bloomberg terminal, but for retail traders. And one of the data feeds that we now have is true level 3 data directly from the NASDAQ. This is a regulated data feed by FINRA. It is for professional use. It is not something that you are going to have if you go to E-Trade or Robinhood or Webull or TOS. They do not have access to level 3. There's some other programs out there that might say they have level 3, but really all it is a more in-depth version of level 2. Level 3 is something that market makers have. Okay, this is not something that a regular routine retail trader will have. This level 3 will tell you literally where every single order in the market is. All orders from all market makers. In level 2, it doesn't show you that. Level 2 will only show you a certain amount of market makers, and it will only show you best offer or best bid from the one market maker. It won't show you all the orders that they have. It also does not show you if an order or a market maker is consistently adding or reducing or canceling a position. It also does not tell you whether that order is an institutional order or if that order is a retail trader. Level 3 gives you all of that information. It gives you an inside look into where are the professionals placing their orders. We have access to that information now at True Trading Group, thanks to our partnership with the NASDAQ. It is just one of many ways that we continue to build this platform to revolutionize retail trading and to give our members an edge and an advantage over other retail traders, just like the professionals do. And Adam and his team have been working endlessly to build out the level 3 product and platform for us, because the feed you get from the NASDAQ, it is a raw data feed. So like when you
I think what would be best is if I just showed them what the feed looks like on its own.
Yeah, like so Adam will show you guys what the feed looks like on its own, and it'll look like the Matrix. Like you won't be able to, it's just a bunch of numbers. Like it won't make any sense to you. You know, it won't make sense what you're looking at. There it is. That's the raw data feed. So you guys see that? Obviously that means nothing. Like no, that doesn't mean anything to anybody. That's not going to give you any actionable information. That's how the data comes in. And then you have to build a software and a platform that could organize the data and then display it so that you can see it and make decisions and make it useful, make it actionable information. So we've done that here at True Trading Group. And then we were able to actually tie our award-winning AI tool, which received the Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. We're able to tie that to it as well to now give you summarized analysis of all the level 3 data to help our members identify, hey, there's aggressive, large institutional buy orders at $100. If the stock gets there, we've got to go long.
Right. So let me actually show you what that looks like, because we literally just finished that up today. So it takes all of that data and it basically translates and organizes it for you in real time, right? So let me go ahead and share that. So AMD, right, for example.
Mm-hmm.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
All right, so every couple of seconds here or every minute, we're going to get an update, right? So this is like a rolling market snapshot, and every snapshot takes in all of these trades that are here. So every snapshot gets a huge amount of data from the market, and you can see what it'll show things is like cross trade. It'll show iceberg orders, right? It'll show buys, sells, whether or not it's an algorithm, everything there. Another snapshot just posted, right? It shows the amount of institutional buying within that snapshot. It gives you a summary and actionable insights for scalpers, day traders, and swing traders, along with important considerations for each, right? This is happening automatically over and over and over. And you let it stream. It's literally like a rolling news feed. And what's cool about this is that you can also, we've built it in, Mike has not seen this yet, right? But check this out. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You can now interact so that the AI has knowledge of everything that's on the screen. And you can say, You can see it's still updating in the background. It's for that snapshot. All right, so there we go. So it'll go ahead and it'll populate all of the snapshots together and give you guys a complete overview of all of it right in here. It'll give you an institutional activity summary, an overall assessment, and price action for all of it. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be for that, for the time frame that you have it open, right? So it's not considering everything that's happened previous, it's considering everything that happens in real time when you have it open. So members, you open it in the morning, you let it stream, and you can interact with it all day. All right. So just something that's very, very, very cool. And it's something that is going to be available to members here in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, here, guys, just see what it says. Consistent selling pressure, heavy institutional selling is indicated by the AI summaries of price struggles around VWAP, painting a bearish structure for AMD at the post-market. Retail activity is present. It appears to be overshadowed by strong institutional selling. Traders should exercise caution and look for confirmation of these bearish trends in the pre-market and regular trading hours before making any trading decisions. That 114 level appears to be key resistance level that is on watch. That is exactly where the stock is currently trading right now. It is trying to get back above that area, but is struggling to do so. A break below that level could accelerate the downside momentum for the stock. So that is, well, the current snapshot. AI summaries consistently highlight heavy institutional selling across all snapshots. This divergence between the visible trades and the AI summary suggests potential larger hidden institutional selling activity. You guys see that one? So we're saying that this looks like you have larger hidden institutional selling activity, meaning they're not showing their full order size. They're going through other areas, whether it's a dark pool or if they're using iceberg orders, which is a significant bearish indicator. The earlier snapshots do reveal some large institutional trades, adding weight to this concern. So this is the analysis. Okay, this is the analysis that the AI is giving you and summarizing based on.
Here's an update. I asked for an update. Now I get the update here, right? Yep. And it takes into account post-market and pre-market.
Incredible.
So, and then on top of that, you could see the buying versus the selling. So obviously selling, right? The selling pressure is obviously.
Yeah, look at that. 60.33% sell on that current snapshot.
And then the rest, you can see what it is there. What's cool too is I could say something like, how's that?
So now the AI is giving you some guidance on, if you're in a position, what should you be doing?
Yep. I promised our members that I would have that. I promised our members they would be able to interact with it. And there you go.
Incredible. So guys, as you can see, this is one of the tools that we have on the TeachD platform. And this is why this is why our members have such good success rates. And when I say success rates, I actually mean they make money, right? I mean, our members, and not every single one of our members is killing it, but the vast majority of them are. And these tools and resources have a lot to do with that. And I'll prove it to you. Guys, do me a favor. If you are a member, guys, if you are a member and you're making money and you're becoming a better trader, go ahead and type the number 1 for me inside chat, please. Go ahead and type the number 1 inside chat if you are a member and you guys are making money and becoming better traders. Those of you that are not members, a couple of things. First, pay attention to how many people type the number 1. Right? These are your peers. If they can do this, so can you. There's no reason why they can be successful and make money and you can't. They're not luckier than you. They don't have more time than you. 82% of our members have a full-time job. So if they can do this, then so can you. All right. So if they can do it, so can you. This, and the other thing that I want you to do, those of you that are not members that are seeing the People's Hep to number one, I want you guys to think about, what do you think it's going to take for you to be successful? Like, what is it that you think is missing? Because obviously, if you haven't gotten to where you want to be yet, if you're not making the kind of money that you want to make, or maybe you're still losing money, maybe you're just not reaching the goals.
Mike, so people are asking why AMD down, right? All that stuff. So for the trolls that are asking, first of all, our mods need to do a better job on here. Second, AMD is down because they missed earnings. And we've gone over it. I haven't even been here paying attention, and I know that. So anything, Mike?
Well, they're technically they beat earnings, but
they beat earnings. Okay. So then say that.
I did.
I'm not here paying attention. So
I know. I'm saying that's why I'm correct. I'm correcting you. You just finished talking. I'm coming back on, and so it was a beat on revenue, but they did come in with a kind of a light guide. Their guidance was kind of in line to light. Their year-over-year growth was 30%, but that's a 7% sequential decline. But they did beat on earnings per share, and they did beat on sales, but their data center revenue was lighter than expected. And their guidance for Q1 of 25 was kind of in line with the expectations, a little bit to the lighter side of those expectations. So kind of the bottom end of the range. So it was a very, left a lot to be desired there on the guidance. And that's why the stock traded back to the downside. It's still green on the day, but it's trading significantly lower than where it closed earlier today. And that's what it comes down to, guys. Like I said, guidance is more important than the actual earnings themselves, because it comes down to, this is what the company did. That's their earnings. Their guidance is what they think the company's going to do.
Right.
So guidance is more important.
Yeah. So good stuff, man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for that to get into the hands of our members and continue to give our traders an edge and help our members make money. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. And that's anyone that's not a member. That's what you guys. It's why you guys are here. You're here because you're trying to make money. And Future Billionaire. I love the username, man. I love the username. How much is the membership? I actually have some news for. How many people are on here that are not members? Real quick. If you're not
real quick, I know you're about to ask that question. Check this out real quick.
Yep. Shoot. Future Billionaire. I'll get right back to you, brother.
So if you had, I don't know why my screen's not showing. Hang on. 1 second. Hey, Joe, can you take that off real quick? Oh, there it goes. No idea what's happening. Are you doing something? No? All right. Look at that. It's wild. All right, hang on. All right, there we go. And we're back. It's very delayed on my end.
What is delayed?
The what do you call it? The restream. Anyways, here. So one of the things that we did recently is we integrated with Perplexity. So everyone that has TTG's AI platform also has unlimited use of Perplexity in here at no additional cost. And we also have it fine-tuned just for finance. So you can come in here and you can say something like, why is AMD selling off post-market right now?
Mm-hmm.
And it'll go ahead and it will, hopefully, because I'm trying this live, inform you that it was because of weak guidance. So one of the things you're going to notice is it's going to pull data from the real-time Benzinga news feed. Right? It says it's selling off on Q4 earnings. I'm going to say use perplexity. Right. So then now it'll go ahead and it'll run and formulate a real-time answer on top of ingesting all the news as well. So there we go. Look at that.
There you go. That's exactly what we just talked about. That data center revenue I told you guys was a miss, came in light.
So, anyways, there you go. So,
Very cool.
yep. All right, very cool. All right, that's it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so there you go, guys. So that's, new stuff that's just coming out for the TTG fam. You guys are going to be able to have access to, and we just continue to build out the platform and make this, the retail version of a Bloomberg terminal. Like that is our goal to build this out. All right, that is our goal to build this out. So, how many curious to see? I know we got. So we've got. So we've got that future billionaire who was asking a question about the membership. I'm just curious how many people are on here that are not members. You guys do me a favor real quick and just type TTG for those of you that are not members. If you're not a member, type TTG for me, please. If you are not a member, I want to see how many people are on here are not members. I know a lot of people are asking about, what do we do? What do we do if AMD, is AMD going to go back up? I do, guys. I like AMD for the long term. I want to be clear about that. I do own shares of AMD, granted for much lower prices, but I do own shares of AMD. We got Kevin, Pamela, we have AIG Man, we've got Look, Carlos, Craig, John, CDRJ, Jose, Nargis, Vibrant. Look Within, I just found your channel. Welcome. Let's go. Welcome, guys. Crystal, John, what's up, everybody? I love to see it. Some new faces here with us, guys. I'm telling you now, I do this live stream 6 days a week. I'm not a Monday morning quarterback. I don't tell you what happened. I go over, what happened on the day and why things did what they did and stocks or trades that we made. But I also tell you positions I'm in, positions I'm getting into, what I think the markets or individual stocks are going to do the next day and the day after to help you guys make money, help you understand exactly what I'm doing with my money and what stocks I'm getting in and where I'm getting out and price points, entries, exits, and everything like that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, show some love. Why should you listen to anything I talk about here? It's not because I think that I'm the world's greatest trader. I was trained by professionals on Wall Street. It's my first job at a college. I was working at a fund in New York City. They had me go through a training program before I was able to touch $1 of their money. And then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession, the huge stock market crash. But it's also the same year I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. And now I'm the co-founder of True Trading Group. We've got 10,000 members in 114 different countries. We received the Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. And we've signed a data partnership agreement directly with the NASDAQ itself to have access to a lot of their different data feeds and tools and resources that our traders can use to help themselves make some more money. So these are the reasons why you guys should pay attention to the stuff that I talk about on this channel. Okay? Listen, if anybody on here right now is not a member of True Trading Group and you guys want to join, do yourself a favor right now and send a text message to 1-888-621-2127 with your name, your email, and the word start. So text the phone number that's at the bottom of your screen right now with John Smith at gmail.com, start. Okay, your name, your email, and the word start. Text that number. We will get you guys hooked up. We are about to raise the price of our membership. As the AI project is done, the price of our membership is going up. Okay, but before we do, now that we have the AI project and the level 3 project is completed, we are raising the price of our membership. Normally, we would just send you a link and you go check out and you sign, you become a member on your own. But we're going to save you guys some money. Okay? We're going to save you guys some money. Text that number right now. If you are interested in joining True Trading Group, we'll give you guys a really great deal before we raise the price, considering now the AI project is done. We also offer double your money back guarantees. So if you guys can't make back the membership fee at least once during your membership, we don't just give you back the membership fee. We give you back double what you paid for wasting your time. I only ask that you go through the courses, pass the quizzes, attend one study group, actually use the platform before you, say, oh, I didn't make any money. Well, use the platform. You have the whole year. A membership is a year long. There's no rush. Take your time. And if you're unable to make enough winning trades with us to equal the membership fee, we'll give you guys back double. We do that because, honestly, I believe in the platform we've created. I see what it's done for our members. And if you guys take this serious, I feel pretty good about the results that you're going to get. Our refund rate at TTG is less than 2.5%. So if it was 12%, I would not be able to give you double your money back. We would go out of business. But it's less than 2.5%. So we can, and we will, and we do. So send a text message right now, guys, if you're interested. That's 1-888-621-2127. Text your name, your email, and the word start. And we will get you guys taken care. We'll tell you what the membership price is, because we're going to give you guys a big discount before we raise the price because the AI project is completed. All right. So the price of our membership is going to be well over $1,000, guys. Okay. Now that this AI project is completed, but we're going to save you a lot of money. We're not going to charge you guys anywhere near that. Text that number right now if you guys want to get involved before we raise the price. 1-888-621-2127. I honestly don't think you guys need double your money back guarantee. I mean, considering our refund rate's less than 2.5%, I would say you definitely don't need it, but it really just gives you peace of mind, right? And it holds us accountable. We also do accept Klarna or PayPal credit. If you guys would like to join with one of those financing options, you certainly could. We're approved through Klarna and PayPal credit. If you guys want to use those options at checkout, you certainly can. So just text the number 1-888-621-2127, and we'll answer any questions you have. We're fully transparent. We're an open book. Anything you guys want to know, and we can get you guys taken care of and part of the TTG team. Does anybody have any questions for me? Is anybody unsure? Future billionaire, I hope that answers your question. Anybody else that's not a member, we have a lot of new faces that all type TTG. Hope you guys, hope I answered a lot of your questions. But does anybody have any more questions for me? I'll talk about AMD while I wait for some people to type some questions in chat. And again, do I think AMD could recover? I do. I do think AMD could recover. I think that this is a decent support level. The stock has been getting hit. Okay. The stock has been getting hit, but I still think it could recover. I think you got to watch this area for tomorrow. I told you guys 113, look for us to pierce 113. And then if you recovered, okay, you can possibly then look for the stock to recover and then move back up to 115, 116. Overplayed. It was T3 Alpha Fund was my first job right out of college. I had to go through their training program before they let me touch $1 of their money. And then in 2008, with the big stock market crash, 2008, I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. What do I think of NVIDIA now? So I came into 2025 pretty cautious on NVIDIA. I mentioned that in the long-term outlook report. I published a long-term outlook report I publish a yearly outlook report for members every year. It's published usually the last week of December or the first week of January. And basically I tell people what I think the market's going to do this year, the sectors that I like, the sectors I don't like, the stocks I'm buying, the stocks I'm selling, and where I think, opportunity can be found. And my goal is to just outperform the markets every year. We've done that for 5 consecutive years. If we can do that this year, it'll be year number 6. And one of the things that I discussed in that market outlook report was me being cautious this year on NVIDIA. I said I thought NVIDIA was susceptible to a pullback this year. I also felt that like Apple was susceptible to a pullback this year and some of the larger mega cap names. But I do like Meta and Amazon. We talked about that. I do like some software names. I do like financials. I still do like gold. There's a lot of things that we talked about in that market outlook report. And it's something that we do every year for True Trading Group. It's not just day trading and swing trading, although there's day trades and swing trades called out every single year, every single day inside True Trading Group. We trade stocks, options, we trade futures, we trade it all inside TGG. Nice. Good call, overplayed. Really great call. Nice job. I hope you killed it, man. I hope you banked on it. It's a great call. Long entry for short term on Tesla. I honestly feel like Tesla needs, I need a failed breakdown in order for me to get long Tesla. So one of the things you guys are like, sometimes failed bearish moves are the best long moves, and failed long moves are the best bearish moves, or failed bearish moves are the best bullish moves, and failed bullish moves are the best bearish moves. And one of the things that I look for here, is when I look at Tesla, I see a pretty decent like little double bottom that I know amateur traders would really focus on very heavily, but it's very under a microscope, and it's right around like 375 to 373, maybe a couple dollars wide. And you guys can see this bottom tail and this bottom tail, and that creates this level that I feel like some lesser experienced traders would probably look at and say, hey, I'm going to go long and I'm going to put my stop loss underneath this double bottom because that's what I was taught on YouTube. And then what will end up happening is Tesla will do this. It'll break underneath it. They'll get stopped out. The stock will stop at like 367 and then it'll reverse and it'll finish the day back up around 380. The stock will do something that looks like this. And then I'm going to go long and then the stock's going to bounce off of here and the stock's going to then do that. So like that's kind of the setup that I would look for there. I don't necessarily feel as confident, or I don't have high conviction in a long without that type of a failed breakdown. So that for me is going to be what I would look for, is a break below the lesser significant support level, the lesser significant double bottoms, stop everybody out, and then rest back against the stronger support level that was previous resistance in November after the election. And it also lines up with the zone that was the previous all-time highs to give you the support that's still going to be in that region, but to force out the weaker hands by the break of that level. So break 375, trade down to 370, 368, tail, get back above to 380, go long, watch Tesla run back above 400. That is what I'm looking at. Okay, that would be the trade that I would look for a long on Tesla. And we just haven't had that price action there yet, but that would be a trigger for me to go long if we saw that. I see a lot of people ask me, should I sell AMD? I mean, listen, you guys do whatever you want to do with your money. I own AMD in my long-term portfolio. I'm not selling it. I'm probably going to buy more if it gets to like 95 or 100, but I'm going to own AMD for a very long time. Stocks don't just go up in straight lines. Don't forget that NVIDIA was down 60% in 2022, right? Don't forget that. So I'm not selling it. I'm not. Can the stock go lower? Absolutely. But I'm not selling my position. I mean, I'm still up. I'm not even sure what my average price is at this time, but I'm probably still up 60, 70% or something like that. I don't even know what my average price is, but I have to go back and check. Don't quote me on that. Because I don't actually know what I'm up on the position. It's stashed away in the long-term portfolio. So I don't want to say something that might not be accurate. But I'm definitely still up on the position. So I'm still going to hold it. I'm looking for 95 to 100 to buy some more shares. That's it. So why the sell-off? I guess a lot of confusion on why the stock sold off, because they did beat earnings, and they did beat earnings. But guys, the guidance is more important than the earnings, and their guidance regarding their revenue moving forward was a little bit light. It left a lot to be desired there with their guidance. Their guidance came in at the bottom end of the range for what analysts were expecting. They said 7.1 billion, give or take $300 million, and analysts were expecting 6.995 billion. So they basically said, hey, our guidance is in line with expectations, 7 billion, right? You were expecting 7 billion. We're guiding 7 billion, but give or take $300 million. So then that takes your 7 billion, drops it down to 6.7 is a possible range for their guidance. And that's under expectations. Yeah, you might say, oh, well, it also could be 7.3. Yeah, sure, it could be 7.3, but that's not the type of earnings. That's not the type of guidance that investors want to see to get really excited. They want to see analysts expect 7, you expect 7.3. That's not what they said. They said we expect 6.7 to 7.3. Well, analysts were expecting 7. That's right dead in line with expectations. And that by itself might not be that bad, but their numbers on data center revenue were light. And that's supposed to be a very big growth driver for them. And it still may be. I think it still will be. But that's why the stock traded to the downside. All right. That's why I traded to the downside. The stock's not done well the last several months. The stock's gone down every month since October. Right? You were down in October, November, December. Now you're down in January. Do I think Walmart will take a breather or keep trucking? Walmart is unbelievable. I own Walmart, and it is in my consumer defensive batch. But it's trading like Palantir. This thing's trading like a hyper growth stock. I don't. Will it take a breather or keep trucking? I think the stock is up so much it takes a breather. But if you asked me 6 months ago, I probably would have told you the same thing, and the stock just kept on trucking along. So this is one of those situations where I'm happy I already own it, because if I didn't, it's very tough to say where do you buy it. The stock just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. But I really do love Walmart. I love the management team at Walmart. They took a very boring business model, and they've really thought outside the box with it. And, what really kind of opened my eyes to the outside the box thinking that of their management team was when they were in discussions to possibly purchase TikTok. And that to me was like, wow, that shows just how outside the box because of TikTok Shop. And that would be how Walmart would compete better with Amazon. And I thought that was so incredibly brilliant. And you talking about a company that is a discount grocery store type of retail store, whatever you want to call it. And now they're looking for ways to add that technology edge so that you can take the excitement and the growth and the premium that comes along with technology and add that to what is a very, very successful and stable consumer defensive business. And that's why the stock has done so incredibly well. And I think their management team is amazing. I would have no reason to sell the name. But eventually, stocks don't go up in straight lines forever. Eventually, the stock will give you a pullback, but that doesn't mean that you try to pick the top and sell it. If you like the stock long term, you just own it. Don't trade it. Will Google earnings affect Amazon earnings? No, they're not. I mean, people will trade Amazon off of Google's earnings, like Amazon's moving in sympathy to Alphabet, right? The stock traded down once Alphabet reported earnings, but it's not going to actually affect Amazon's earnings. Amazon's got their own earnings, their own guidance, their own revenue, their own earnings per share, their own AWS revenue growth and everything else. So, I'm expecting good numbers from Amazon, but at the end of the day, it's really just kind of a guess. So I'm bullish on Amazon. I'm bullish on Meta. Obviously, I own both. They're some of my largest positions. My largest positions are the obvious ones: Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet. Those are my largest positions. Kind of, there's like the obvious ones. I've owned those stocks for a long time. I've bought them every year. So those are my largest names. Anybody else have any other questions? Any other questions? Guys, don't forget, again, if you guys are interested in the membership, send a text message now to 1-888-621-2127. Okay. 1-888-621-2127. Overplayed. You're bearish on Meta and Amazon. Well, that's what makes a market. Someone's got to think it's going up and someone's got to think it's going down, right? I like them. I'm still bullet. So I actually said in my market outlook report, I actually talked about, I think that Meta and Amazon might perform the best out of the Mag 7 this year. I think Meta and Amazon are going to have better years than Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, and Nvidia and Alphabet. I think Amazon and Meta have better years than those, but we'll see. We'll have to see. So far we're right. So far we've been right as Meta and Amazon have made themselves new all-time highs this year. All right. We got a question here from Quincy. Been watching for the last 8 months. Keep thinking I can do this with just YouTube bids alone. Have made all the wrong decisions over the last 90 days. Should have done this months ago. Yeah, Quincy, you definitely should have done it months ago. You guys can't just think you're going to come on these live streams and you're just going to get it just by sitting here listening to me talk to you for an hour. What you really need to do is join your trading group, get access to all the educational material, get access to the tools and resources that are at your disposal to give you an edge that can help you make better decisions, and get access to the moderators. There's 8 professional traders aside from myself that are with you all day, every day, sharing their screens, talking to you on the microphone, answering questions, providing all of their trade alerts. That's, you got to get in there and you got to start taking advantage of what it is that we offer. And the bottom line here is that people are making money. And if you guys missed it before, I'll repeat it. If you guys are members of your trading group, just do me a favor, type the number 1 if you're making money. When people ask me, hey, why should I join your trading group? What makes you different? What makes us different? It's not anything that's to do with me. I'm not the reason why we're different. The reason why we're different is because our members are actually successful. And how many trading communities can you say that the majority of their members are actually making money? Very few. But that's how it is in your trading group. I stand behind this platform. I see the success that it's had with our members. And that's why we offer double your money back guarantees. Again, I don't think you need it, but you guys go ahead, you sign up, pay for the membership price, and you guys go ahead. And if you're unable to make enough winning trades to equal what you paid for your membership, we give you guys back double. We give you guys back. Oh, we have to welcome. Wow. All right. That was fast. We have to welcome Quincy. Quincy, welcome to the TTG fam. Everybody welcome Quincy. Quincy just joined. We hooked him up. We took care of Quincy. That was quick. Yeah, we gave Quincy a hell of a deal. We hooked him up. So Quincy, welcome to the family. I told you guys, if you guys are interested, we're going to give you guys a great deal before we raise the price because the AI project is done. So go ahead and text us now. And we'll hook you guys up with a great price. 1-888-621-2127. Let's say a quick check-in. Alphabet has continued to move to the downside. On their disappointing earnings, they actually missed. No BS. That was the best price I've seen in a long time. I'm not kidding. What do you guys think? I'm joking? You guys think I'm joking when I say we're going to give you guys a great deal before we raise the price? So again, text us. Quincy, you're welcome. 1-888-621-2127. Text your name, your email, and the word START. And we'll get you guys ready to go. Is Alphabet good at this price? Been watching for months. I really appreciate it and won't let you down. That's what I'm talking about. I like that. I like the mindset. I like the mentality. Mamba mentality, Quincy. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So is Alphabet a good price here? Is Alphabet a strong buy right now? I mean, listen, you have a decent support level here, I think, for a quick trade, but to me, with a failed new high, you could get some profit taking over the course of the next couple of days. I wouldn't be surprised if the stock traded down to like the low mid 80s instead of 190 where it is now. I wouldn't be surprised if it traded a little bit lower, but you have a nice. I'll just show here. Look, see the support level right here. See this support, and then there's the 50-day moving average, the dark blue line. That's the 50-day moving average. So there's your support level. So do you get a little bit of a dead cat bounce and the stock does this? Sure, right? That's possible, but I think you might get a little bit more pressure here over the next day or two. If you're going to go after it, I think if you're asking for a quick trade, yeah, I think there could be a quick trade there. If you're asking for like a long-term portfolio buy and hold, I think you could maybe see a little bit lower. But like I think that like 182 is a great spot. But I just think you might get a better price. What about tariffs? There's nothing really to talk about with tariffs. The tariffs with China are really uneventful. The retaliation from China was extremely uneventful. What China put back on us is really meaningless to us. It was really more of a just President Xi trying to save face and not just look like he was bullied. But they launched a monopoly probe into Google, which really doesn't make any sense because Google hasn't had much of an operating presence in China for a very long time. They banned LVH, which is a small company, or they blacklisted it. Illumina, they blacklisted, and that was it. Those two companies, like really, why not? If you really wanted to hurt the U.S., you'd go after, our darlings. You would go after Apple. You go after Tesla, and they didn't do that. And the tariffs that they put on our goods are very small exports into China from the United States. It really wasn't a very meaningful tariff. It really was more for us to. For them to come to the negotiating table to see if there's some type of a deal and some type of an agreement, like you saw with Canada, like you saw with Mexico. We have to welcome Julissa. Julissa, welcome to the TGG family. Everybody welcome Julissa. Starbucks for the long term, Uberfin. Yes, I like Starbucks long term. I do. I think Starbucks is I think Starbucks makes a new all-time high in the next 2 years, maybe. Way to go, blessed hot mess. 12 trades, only 2 losses. I love it. Love it. Way to go. So blessed hot mess and I had a one-on-one, just a couple weeks ago. Blessed hot, was it 2 weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago? Her and I had a one-on-one. So that's one thing. We do one-on-one mentor sessions with our lifetime members. So you guys get one-on-one coaching from the moderators and I. And I had a one-on-one with Blessed Hot Mess just a couple weeks ago, and she's made 12 trades since the one-on-one. 10 of them have been winners. Yeah, it was just last Monday. Okay, so last Monday, so just a week ago, and she's already 10 of her last 12 trades. That's fantastic. I'm so happy for you. So see, what we talked about is working. Mike, what are your thoughts on Target? I like Walmart much better than Target, but. I like Walmart better than Target. And guys, we see those of you who have paid for the membership, we have to call you and set up your account manually since we gave you the discount. So since we just gave you that huge discount, we have to set your account up manually. Okay? So we're going to call you and we'll set your account up manually because we have to, because we didn't go through like a payment link like we would send you to a checkout page on your own. So we'll go through and set your account up manually since we gave you guys the big discount. All right. So we still have to do that. Lewis wants to know, do you buy AMD? I personally, I think AMD probably goes a little bit lower, but I would say 95 to 100, I think is a good spot to buy it. If you don't own any AMD at all, you want to buy a little piece of it tomorrow. I really don't think there's any harm in that. But for me, I'm looking more around 95 to 100. Can I talk about CFLT? Sure. Confluent is a software company that has really good growth, but really poor profitability. They're actually not profitable yet. But their most recent earnings report from last quarter actually showed some promise, and they did have some positive info kind of going around that I liked. And I bought some. It's not a large position at all. It is a small starter position. It is a high risk position. It is not a large position. Okay. I don't know. I can't say it enough times. This is one of those stocks that if the company does well, the stock goes to $125 over the next 5 to 7 years. And I own it from 28 or 29, whatever it is. Or I get stopped out at 15. It's that type of play. It's that. So you just have to adjust your position size. You adjust your capital allocation to the stock to account for that. I don't care if the stock can go to $20 next week. I don't really care. I own it from like 28 or something like that. So I don't really care, honestly. But I think that the company has promised. They have work to do. They're a younger company. They have work to do. But I would love to hear the company talk about a clear path to profitability. And if they feel like they're going to reach profitability by a specific time, if we can get some guidance and some clarity on that, investors are going to really love that. And the stock will pop. But we'll see. Where's a good spot to get into Broadcom? I love Broadcom. It's actually my second largest semiconductor holding now because of the price appreciation that the stock has had. Where do you get into Broadcom? It's a really tough question at this time because, honestly, the major support level is 185. Okay, that really is. This is the major level down here, 185. That's the spot. But you're nowhere near it. You're at 231. Honestly, the day to buy this thing was the DeepSeek sell-off when everybody panicked about DeepSeek and the stock dropped to 195. If you don't own it, that was the spot to do so. I love that area. If you get a pullback into that spot, you're not going to get it now. You're not going to get it anytime soon. But, if you got to pull back into here, I think it's a beautiful spot. And you're also going to have the 200-day moving average. This yellow line is going to work its way up over time. And I think that's maybe the 200-day moving average could be a spot that you can look for also for the ad. But I love Broadcom. I'm still very bullish on Broadcom long term. Wow, AMD's 108 now. Nice. Go, baby, go. Go, baby, go. You can do it. You can do it. Get down into my zone. All right, folks. This is crazy. I don't remember that when I've had this many questions on the same stock from people. People keep asking about why is AMD dumping? Guys, again, their guidance was not great. Their guidance was light. Okay. Their guidance was light. They did beat on earnings per share and they beat on sales, but their guidance was light. Their data center revenue was light. That's supposed to be a growth driver for them, and it just hasn't been. It just hasn't been. So I think there's a little bit more downside. I'm going to target 95 to 100 for a possible spot to buy some more shares in my long-term portfolio. All right. So there you have it, folks. Again, guys, send a text message, right? You guys are interested in the membership. We're going to give a big discount before we raise the price. The AI project is completed. So we have coupled level 3 directly from the NASDAQ with our award-winning AI tool, Mari, that received the Benzinga FinTech Chairman's Award for Best AI Analysis Tool last year. And that project is completed. and we are raising the price of our membership now. So if you guys are interested in joining before we do that, we will give you a steep discount before we raise the price. You can send a text message right now to the number on your screen. That's 1-888-621-2127. Text that number now with your name, your email, the word START, and we'll get you guys hooked up and we'll get you taken care of. All right. We're going to have to set your account up manually since we're giving you such a big discount because we're not sending you to the checkout page. We're going to take care of you guys separately, individually. All right. And then we'll set your account up manually. All right. So that is it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope this answered all of your questions about AMD and Alphabet and everything else. And hopefully you guys have a better idea of kind of how you want to attack the day tomorrow. We've got more jobs data coming out tomorrow. We've got more earnings coming out tomorrow. Okay, we've got Disney. We've got Uber in the pre-market. We got more stuff coming out after hours. So I'll cover all that with you guys tomorrow. All right? So thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. Smash that like button. Show some love. Turn on your notifications. And then join me tomorrow. We got ARM after the bell tomorrow. That's a big one everybody's interested in. You got Qualcomm after the bell tomorrow too. So again, we're continuing with the semiconductor theme. All right. You got AMD. Now you're going to get ARM. You're going to get Qualcomm. So we're going to see if this is just an isolated incident with AMD or is it something that the whole sector is beginning to feel. I came into 2025 and I told everybody in my market outlook report that I was cautious on semiconductors, that I believe semiconductors were going to have a pullback year as the AI hardware spend slows and shifts into software. I'm bullish on software, the ETF, the IGV. I'm bullish on that. Salesforce, right? There's a lot. Palantir is one of my holdings. Rubrik. I still do like Oracle. I still like ServiceNow. ServiceNow just had some disappointing earnings last week, but I still like ServiceNow. There's a lot of software companies that I do like. Obviously, the cybersecurity names: CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, Fortinet. I own those three. Those are my cybersecurity holdings. So we'll see. We shall see. But so far, that seems to be right. That thought process seems to be right about short semis and long software. It's done pretty well for us so far this year. We'll see if that continues throughout the rest of the year. We've got 11 months to go. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Again, text us if you guys are interested in the membership. 1-888-621-2127. Have a wonderful rest of your night, guys. Take care.